Let's start. Good morning, everyone. My name is Abhishek, and I'm the founder and CEO of Quest for Success. So, first of all, thank you, everyone, for tuning in on a Sunday morning. I'll just give you a brief about my institute and myself. Quest for Success is based out of Bangalore, and I started this institute back in 2013. So, this is our 12th year of operations. And we primarily help students who want to pursue their undergraduate studies abroad. So we have helped close to 3,000 plus students over the last 12 years, guiding them, mentoring them on their test preps for exams such as the SATs, APs, tutoring for IB, IGCSE, and also helping them in building a profile which will stand out in some of the world's top universities. So although we are based out of Bangalore, our 80% students today are outside Bangalore. In fact, 25% of our kids are even outside India, primarily from the US, UAE, and many other countries. So that's about myself and my institute. No matter where you are based, all our classes are live and online. So even for our local Bangalore kids also, we do only online classes. We do not have physical classes even for our local Bangalore kids. So this is the agenda for the session today about QFS, who we are, what exactly goes on in your college application, what about SATs and what's the advantage of taking the SAT, what are the benefits of AP exams, about the newly introduced TMUA and TARA exams for UK universities. Then we'll understand the college application process. How do you build a strong profile? We'll talk about college essays that you have to write at the time of applications. And then how we help students in building their profile. Then we'll also talk about universities in Singapore, Dutch, Europe, and other countries, basically, because it's not just the US, I guess, that students are looking to go. So some other options as well for the students. And then at the end, we will share with you few profiles of our students who have got admissions into some of the world's top 20 universities. These are our students who have been personally mentored by us in their entire journey so that you get to know what exactly their profile looked like at the time of college application. So that's the agenda for the session. So I'll make sure this is a meaningful session for everyone who's attending. And this will be very helpful for those especially who are aiming to apply into some of the world's top universities. Before we begin, students who are only looking at JEE, NEET, CLAT, these entrance exam of India, we do not have anything for them in the session. So this primarily talks about mostly for colleges outside India and some of the other Indian options as well, which accepts SATs for their admissions. Okay, so quickly about QFS, established in 2013, helped close to 3,000 plus students. When we talk that we do IB and IGCSE tutoring, we have a team of 50 plus tutors, all specialized in teaching students for various subjects for IGCSE and IB curriculum from grade 9 to grade 12. So a lot of students take extra support outside school in certain subjects which they feel they need help with. So QFS has been doing tutoring for IB, IGCSE for grade 9 to 12 for the past 12 years. We do SAT test prep. We have one of the best SAT results in the country for the last 10 years. So we'll talk about SATs. We do advanced placement exam preparation, and we do preparation for UCAT, TMUA, and other standardized tests for the UK universities. So this is our test prep, basically IB tutoring, SAT, APs, and UCAT, TMUA. And along with that, we help students with their entire college admission counseling, helping them build their profile, helping them with their college shortlist, and then helping them with their essays and college application process. Okay. Now, what exactly goes on? Sorry, what? Uh, the logo has come here, so I'll just remove this. Sorry, yeah. So what exactly goes on in your college application? Now, there are three aspects to your college application. First and foremost are your academic grades. Now, your ninth final exam results, 10th final exam results, and your 12th predicted results All of this will go into your college application. So I repeat, ninth finals, 10th finals, and 12th predicted grades. Now, those who are not aware about the predicted grades of 12, how it works, based on your performance in 11th finals and 12th first term, the school will issue a predicted scorecard for you, that this is what we predict our child to get into, to get the marks that he or she may get in grade 12 final exams. Universities take that into account at the time of granting admissions. So they do not wait for your 12th final results to come in. Before that itself, they make a decision, yes or a no, uh, to select you. So for students planning to apply abroad, your ninth finals, 10th finals, and you have to do very well on your 11th and 12th first term, so that you are issued a high predicted grade for your grade 12. Everything is important. 60% weightage is given to school academics, with major weightage being given to your 10th finals and your 12th predicted grades, because that's the closest. 10th finals is the first exam conducted by an independent body, so we'll get a lot of weightage. And 12th predicted is your latest report card to demonstrate your academic achievements. So that gets higher importance when it comes to academics. But nevertheless, 9th finals will also be relevant when you apply to colleges. So 60% weightage is given to academics. 20% weightage is given to standardized tests such as the SATs, ACTs, and the APs. So no need to take ACT if you're taking the SAT. So let's say SAT and AP make up for a 20% weightage in your application. For UK university, which does not require SAT, it could be the TMUA or the TARA exam. We'll talk about that. So 20% weightage is given to standardized testing. The balance 20% is given to your profile, your extracurriculars and co-curriculars, including your college essays, the letter of recommendation, your extracurricular achievements, co-curricular achievements, social projects, whatever it is. All together, everything else apart from academics and standardized testing carries 20% weightage in your college application. So that's 60, 20, 20. And that, to be honest, is the same across universities or across countries. 5-10% weightage here and there could be there, but this is what it is, for most of the countries when you apply abroad. Now, let's understand the first thing, the SATs, and I've mentioned the digital SATs. So 2023 onwards, SAT has become digital. It used to be a pen and paper based exam, but now the exam happens on your own laptop. So you need to carry your own laptop to the exam center and take the exam on your own device. So that's the new digital SAT. Now, when is it conducted? What is SAT? Which countries require you to take the SAT? So let's talk about all of this. SAT is conducted by an organization called as the College Board. The exam happens 8 times a year. The months are fixed. It's March, May, June. And then from August to December, every month the SAT happens. So I repeat, it happens in March, May, and June. And then August, September, October, November, December, 8 times a year. Now, this has 2 components. One is math, one is English. So you have 800 points for math, 800 points for English. Overall, the exam is scored out of 1600 points. So that's the structure of the SAT. Now, the math and English that is tested on the SAT is everything what you have learned until grade 10 at school level. Nothing beyond grade 10 is asked on the math or the English section of the SAT. Okay. The idea behind conducting SAT is to test your common sense skills, your logical skills, critical thinking skills, and analysis skills. The idea is not to test your math knowledge. In case they had to test your math knowledge, they would probably conduct an exam which will talk about calculus, logarithms, trigonometry, and all that. But this is an aptitude test so that they understand whether you have the logical, critical thinking skills or not. So that's, the agenda of conducting the SAT. Now, when one should prepare for SATs, which countries require you to take the SAT? 90% of the students at QFS prepare for SAT right after their 10th board exam gets over. So I can say ideally time to prepare for SAT is right after the 10th boards. And I'll give you my reasons for that, why 90% choose this timeline. First and foremost, the content is everything what you have learned until grade 10 at school level. So probably you know the content of the exam, but it's about fine tuning your prep according to SATs. You only get a minute's time to answer per question on the SAT. So you have to manage your time. You have to you have to do less mistakes. And there are certain concepts, little sometimes, which are probably not taught in your 10th grade, which probably we also covered during our curriculum. So as such, once you are done with grade 10, you will know most of the concepts. You can, our job is to revise those concepts, fine tune your prep according to the SAT, make you practice various questions, do a lot of mock tests so that, you do well on the actual exam. Now, coming to English, English is a difficult part on the SAT compared to math, primarily because this is American English that is tested on SATs, and the school English is the British English. So American English vocab words are a little tough, and grammar rules are quite different from the British grammar rules. So those kind of prep, those key things needs to be prepared for or taken into account before you take this exam. And it takes around 4 to 5 months to prepare for the SATs. So a good dedicated prep for 4 to 5 months after your 10th boards in the beginning of 11th is the ideal way to go about taking the SAT exams. Now, the countries which accept the SAT scores, it's primarily for the US. So US introduced the SATs. Singapore considers SATs, those who are looking at options in NUS, NTU, SMU, the top 3 universities in Asia, all based out of Singapore. So Singapore does consider SATs for admissions. When it comes to Indian colleges, a lot of Indian colleges now have started accepting SATs, especially the ones which are non-IIT, JEE focused, non-NEET, and non-CLAT focused. So mostly the liberal arts colleges in our country, such as the Flame, Symbiosis, Azim Premji, Kriya, uh, Shiv Nadar, all of these universities have started accepting SAT for admissions. And when it comes to private engineering colleges, there are few good names which consider SATs and not IIT or any other entrance for their admissions. One of the notable names is Plaksha. So if you check Plaksha University, which is based out of Chandigarh, they have engineering programs in AI, CS, robotics, mechanics, mechanical engineering, I meant economics and data science. It's one of the top upcoming university in India. And Plaksha's admission exactly works like the way US admission works, which is to look at your SATs, look at your academics, and then look at your overall profile. So these are the key Indian universities which have started accepting the SATs. SAT is not accepted in UK nor in Australia. And when it comes to other European countries, it depends on college to college whether they want SAT either for the admissions purpose or for the scholarship purpose. So when you go to individual website of colleges in Germany, Netherlands, Finland, you can see some of them asking for SAT either for admissions or scholarship. So as such, the whole Europe does not require SAT, but there are individual universities in specific countries that they ask for SAT scores for admissions, especially if they are the most competitive ones to get into. Okay, so this is all about the SATs. Now, one more key thing here is the super scoring option on the SATs. Because you can take SAT multiple times, universities allow you to super score your score. So it's not like you can take SAT only once, you can take it 2 times or 3 times as well. Now, if you take SAT multiple times, university gives you the option to super score your score, which means take the best of math and best of English across your 3 attempts or 2 attempts, add that score together, and that becomes your overall score. So let me explain this with an example. You take the SAT out of 1600. So you're very good in math. You get a 800 on 800 in math, but say English score is 600. So your overall score comes to be a 1400 out of 1600. Now, next time when you're preparing to give it the second time, just focus only on the English part. Even if the math points drop by few points, it's not going to make a difference because they are at the end going to take best of math and best of English. Add that score, that becomes your overall score. So if you've already scored 800 in math, I mean, no need to worry about that when you're preparing it for the second time. So that's another reason for us to tell you to take the SAT in the beginning of 11th, so that you have the option of taking it 2 to 3 times in case you want to, improve further on your score. If you directly take your SAT in beginning of 12th, I'm afraid you may not even get a second chance to appear for SAT because of the timelines. Your applications go in the middle of grade 12, not at the end of 12th. So suppose there are students in this webinar who have already entered grade 12. Your applications are scheduled to go this year, November, December. And it takes a good 3 to 4 months to prepare your application as well. So ideally, you should be done with everything by the month of June, maximum by the month of August, all your exams, so that the last 3 months you can focus on your college essays, taking letter of recommendations from school, applying to colleges. It's a painful process. And it takes a lot of time to do that process. So it takes around 3 4 months. So that's why we want most of these things to get over by end of grade 11, so that in the beginning of 12th you can start focusing on your college applications. Okay, so quickly I'll summarize what I just said about the SATs. Happens 8 times a year: March, May, June, and then from August to December. Ideal time to prepare for SATs right after your 10th boards. Some of them do it in the beginning of 10th also. Those who are like doing excellent in school and they feel they can wrap up their SAT in the beginning of 10th, you can do that. Otherwise, do it in the beginning of 11th. Countries to look for SATs: US, Singapore, and the colleges in India that I had mentioned, liberal arts and some of the private engineering colleges. And you can super score your SAT if you take it 2 to 3 times. Now, I mentioned the last line: small mistakes can lead to significant score penalties. So I'll just explain you very briefly how the SAT exam works. It has 4 modules. You have 2 modules for English and then 2 modules for math. The exam starts with the first module of English, which will have a mixture of easy, medium, and difficult question. So remember, SAT is an adaptive test. The question paper is not the same for everyone in the classroom. The exam starts with the first module of English. Say it has 28 questions, you have 32 minutes, and it will have a mixture of easy, medium, and difficult question. Say everyone gets the same paper in the first module. Based on how you answer your first module questions of English, AI will detect your IQ and accordingly give you questions on the second module. If you have answered the first module correct on the English part, harder ones. If you have answered the hard ones correctly, you will see a lot more harder questions on the second module. The catch is, more and more the harder questions you answer correctly, your score will be closer and closer to 800 on 800 in English. The same thing gets replicated in the math section also. 2 modules of math. First module of math will have easy, mixed, medium, and difficult questions. Now, based on how you answer your first module math questions, AI will detect your IQ and accordingly throw you questions on the second module. So that's the adaptive nature of this exam. And we are glad to tell you at QFS, and we have our own digital SAT software, which has access to 1,000+ practice questions. And we do 20 full length of these mocks before you go and sit for the exam. So each one of our student is well versed with the digital nature of the exam, and they have practiced enough on this so that you don't see anything new in the exam. This is how the exam pattern is probably going to work. So we have our own digital SAT software. Uh, as I told you, access to 1,000+ practice questions and with 20+ full length mock tests. Now, I told everything about SATs. Now the question is, why us for SAT prep? Some of the highlights of our SAT program: we are one of the India's leading SAT prep with top scores for 5+ years. Our results are there on our website, questforsuccess.in. You can click on results, SAT results, and you can see every single student's name, the school they belong to, and the score that they have got. So we have one of the best results in the industry. Our highest is 1590. Average score out of 1600 is 1460. 33% of our students score 1500+ on the SATs. Globally, only 1% students make it to 1500 or above, because that's the 99th percentile score on the SAT. So at QFS, we are 33 times better than the global average, basically, you can say. So we include a 7-book prep set in our program. Along with that, 65+ DSAT tests. Basically, 45 of them are sectional tests, which could be algebra, arithmetic, geometry, or subject-verb agreement, or verbs, tenses. So those are called sectional tests. along with that, we have practice questions also, which is separate. So practice questions are separate, sectional tests are separate, and then full length mock tests are separate. So the idea is first we teach you, do questions in class, then we give you homework. After you're done with the homework, then we give you sectional tests to see how you have performed, in a particular section. And once you're done with all the sectional tests, then we ask you to start doing your full length mocks. Okay, so you for any institute, it's the results that speaks for itself, and you can check all our results on our website, questforsuccess.in. Now, we have two options when it comes to preparing students for the SATs. First is our one-on-one prep program, and we also have something within this called as a guaranteed 1500 plus SAT score. Now, I'll explain you how exactly this works. So when you opt for a one-on-one prep program, we make you do a diagnostic test at the beginning of the course. It's a free SAT diagnostic test to understand if you take your SAT today, where do you stand? And to be honest, it does not require any prep because it's again the 10th grade or until 10th grade math and English that we are testing you on. If your score in the diagnostic comes to be a 1350 plus, QFS guarantees you that with our prep, your score has to go above 1500 on the exam, 1500 or above. Now, we will be doing one-on-one prep with you. There'll be so you'll have separate teachers for math, separate teachers for English. There'll be a dedicated academic mentor assigned to you who will be scheduling your classes and who will be communicating day-wise, week-wise to your parents about your attendance, your homework submissions, your sectional tests reports, your full-length test reports. So that's a continuous feedback that we are able to give to the parents. Now, what happens if we prepare you for the first time and you do not get a 1500? So you end up with a 1450 itself. It's on us to re-prepare you for the second attempt without charging a single rupee from you. So again, we will look at where you went wrong, do our analysis, work on your areas in which you did not do well, on your first attempt, re-prepare you, re-give you those tests, not the same ones, but the new ones. So new practice materials, new tests to re-prepare you for the second attempt and see that you get a 1500 plus on your second attempt. We are okay to support you unless and until you are getting that 1500 plus. And to be very honest, what we have seen over the past is students scoring on our mocks, the score that you actually get on our mock, your exact score is going to be plus minus 30 points. So we will know when you are ready for the SAT, and the day we are sure that you are a 1500 plus candidate, we ask you to go and take the exam. So this is how our one-on-one prep works. Now, those who do not get a 1350 plus on a diagnostic, you can also opt for a one-on-one program. We give the same effort, same attention. It's just that we can't guarantee that with our prep you will get a 1500 plus, but we'll give it all to make sure that that you are able to achieve 1500 plus as well. So this is one model. Second is small group, 4 to 5, so maximum 5 students per batch, 4 to 5 months of prep, same 70 to 80 hours of tutoring. The only difference is instead of a one-on-one prep, this will be a group prep of 5 students. And here also we support you for your second attempt also. Again, the difference is for your second attempt also you will be in a small group. And we don't charge anything extra to prepare our kids for the second or the third attempt. But again, you will get a small group here, and you will again get the teachers to revise the concepts and do more practice before you sit for the second attempt. There's no difference, guys, in terms of our quality. It's the same teachers who will be assigned for your one-on-one or your group classes. One-on-one gives you the flexibility to assign the timings, and you get that academic mentor who will be on your head and giving regular feedback and all to the parents. In group also, we have an academic mentor for the group who will be giving regular feedback. But you don't get to choose your time and everything, because once the batch is fixed, you need to come to the class at that time only. The classes timings will not change. So if you have joined a batch which says Monday to Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. for 5 months, it stays 5 to 6 p.m. for 5 months for the next 5 months, because we cannot change timings of the batch according to your convenience. So that's the only difference between our one-on-one prep versus our group prep. So you can choose either of the models. Next, let's talk about the advanced placement exams. Okay, any questions, guys, if you have? Is online option available for other cities? That's one question. Guys, we only have online classes. We do not even have physical classes for our local Bangalore students as well. We just are based out of Bangalore because I have a house in Bangalore and I have a backend office here which supports everything. When it comes to classes, we only do live online tutoring. We do not have physical classes for anyone. So irrespective of whichever city you are based, it won't matter. In fact, when you join a group class of 5 students, you will have students from 5 cities in the same class. Okay, so that will not be a disadvantage. And look, when you do these online classes, you get to learn from the best teachers of the country. When you probably opt sometime for the offline classes, the center can only give you a teacher who's probably residing within 5-10 kilometers of the vicinity. Uh, because of the travel and everything, right? But here we are free to recruit our teachers from entire country to see that we are able to deliver the best for our children. Okay. Uh, but yeah, if you're not confident that your child will concentrate in the class and he will be doing WhatsApp or Instagram during the class hours, then probably online will not work for you. But if he or she is diligent, who's ready to put in the effort, then you're probably getting the best tutors, the best materials, the best people helping you out to help you get some of the top scores. Okay. Um, Now, for the question and answers, we can take it at the end, guys. You can post it here. I'll reply at the end, or you can write on your paper for now, and you can post it at the end. I'll open the question and answer sessions at the end. Okay. Now, so this is all about the SATs. Let's talk about another very, very important exam, which is the advanced placement exams. Now, I have some students and parents who have also joined for this webinar from the US. They are very well aware of the APs because AP curriculums is a part of a US curriculum. But when it comes to India, let's understand how these exams are relevant. Now, let me explain what this exam is all about. APs, like SATs, conducted by the same organization which conducts the SAT, and that's the College Board. But unlike SAT, which happens 8 times a year, the advanced placement exams happens only in the month of May. So it happens twice in the month of May, one between the first and the second week, and one between the third and the fourth week. The reason they give 2 sittings for AP in the month of May, because if one of your AP exam is clashing with your school exam date, you can opt for the second sitting or vice versa. So they give you 2 choices to select your dates in the month of May, and you can select either of the 2 dates depending on your school exam schedule. So for now, let's say that AP happens only once a year in the month of May. Now, why should students do AP? What is this AP all about now? AP courses are college level courses which are meant to be taught during college first year. Okay, when you go to college first year in the US, you will have subjects like AP Calculus, AP Physics, AP Chemistry. That's how they name their subjects. So AP courses are college level courses which are meant to be taught during college first year. But there is a provision that high school students can take up these courses, and if they end up scoring a 4 or a 5 out of 5 on their AP exams, then they need not repeat that subject when they go to college first year. I repeat, you are trying to do a exam which is meant to be done by college first year students during the college, but you are trying to impress the college that look, something which is meant to be done in college first year, I as a high school student challenged myself to take up this course, and if you end up scoring a 4 or a 5 out of 5 in the exam, you get an exemption to study that subject when you go to college first year. Now, why should students do this? Why should I take that extra burden of studying a college level course while I am a high school student? Students do AP to show academic rigor in their profile, to tell the college that, look, something which is meant to be taught in college, I challenged myself to do that course while I was a high school student, and I did well on that exam. I cracked that exam. that gives you a good weightage in your college application. It impresses the college that you challenged yourself a little more than your school level curriculum. That is why kids take up APs, to show academic rigor to the students, that it's not just the school academics, but I challenged myself a little beyond that and I excelled in that. So that is the primary reason for students to take up these AP courses. There are more than 30 courses to choose from. You have APs in calculus, physics, chem, bio, stats, computer science, English, economics, psychology, history, geography. So many subjects are there. Now, which APs to do? Should you do APs or not? If yes, how many APs to do? This is a one-on-one discussion that we have with each student to make a plan for them, which will be relevant for them. But one thing I want to tell is you only jump into taking APs provided you are doing very well at school curriculum. Suppose you are doing excellent in school, you are scoring a 90% or above in the school curriculum. You feel you have that extra time that you can spare, then only jump on taking these AP courses. There's no point scoring 60-70% in school and adding another subject burden in your head. Rather, why not improve that 70% to a 85 or a 90%, which will be more advantageous to you because academics carry 60% weightage in the college applications. So AP for us is primarily for those who are doing excellent in school and they can take some additional load to impress the college. Okay. Now, which countries accept AP credits? US, it's a no-brainer. When it comes to UK, if you actually look at the website of Cambridge University in UK, it says students applying from CBSE, ICSE schools of India should have 5 AP courses done to be eligible to apply for Cambridge. Otherwise, do not fill our forms. So when it comes to UK, I advise you to take up APs if you're applying to top 5, top 6 colleges of the UK, which could be Cambridge, Oxford, London School of Economics, UCL, Imperial College London. If your goal is very high on the UK, then of course APs are going to help you to achieve that college. But if it's not a top 5, top 6 college, then probably without AP also you may get into that college, provided you have done excellent in your school curriculum. But if idea is to get into some of the top UK colleges, then APs are definitely going to add value in your application. When it comes to Singapore, whether they say it or they don't say it, please guys do not look at their website and say, sir, it says AP is optional. SAT is optional. The point is 9 out of 10 students are going to do that optional thing to impress the college that select me. Who probably in India would not like to go to NUS Singapore, which is probably rated at par with Ivy League colleges of the US. So sometimes just scoring high on your school academics is not sufficient to impress the college because there are 2 lakh other kids who have achieved 90% plus in CBSE curriculum alone in grade 10. So they look at least 3 AP courses, the Singapore college, and all 3 should be a 5 on 5. Now, what is this scoring? What is this 5 on 5, 4 on 5 and all? It's actually a 100-mark paper, but it's scored out of 5 points. Cutoffs, you can say, is around 65 to 70% in the exam to get a 5 on 5 on an AP. So it's not the 90s and all that. 65 to 70% on the paper, you get a 5 on 5. It has a mixture of MCQ and subjective questions. 70% of the paper is MCQ, 30% of the paper is subjective. AP, like SAT, has gone into digital mode, but it's a hybrid digital mode. The MCQ questions will be on your laptop and you need to submit your answer instantly, whatever options you have, A, B, C, D. But the subjective questions, the question will come on the laptop, but you have to write your answer on a sheet of paper and submit that sheet of paper to the invigilator. So that's how the AP hybrid digital is working. For the first time, AP has gone digital. And we are proud to tell you we are the only institute in the country currently who's ready with the AP digital SAT software. So all our 300 plus students this year who are preparing with us for the APs are preparing on the new digital AP format, okay, which is the MCQ on the laptop and then the subjective they do on the paper. So, and we are the largest AP test prep institute of the country. So no other institute does over 300 kids every year. And we have been doing it over the past 12 years. So APs, quickly let me summarize. From grade 9, students are eligible to take up APs. Now, one question that may arise with the parents is how will a ninth grader do a college level course? So to just tell you one fact, out of the 300 plus kids that we have this year for the APs, around 25% of those kids are grade 9 kids. Now, how are they able to prepare for these exams? There are certain AP subjects which do not require any prerequisite knowledge from the school. You have subjects like psychology, economics, history, geography, English, statistics, even computer science, if you know basic programming. These subjects do not require any prerequisite knowledge from the school. Whether I teach you psychology in grade 9 or grade 11 or college first year, it won't make a difference. You're anyways going to learn for the first time. So certain subjects which do not require prerequisite knowledge can easily be taken up by grade 9, grade 10 students. But certain subjects which require prerequisite knowledge, such as calculus, physics, chemistry, biology, we encourage you to only take up while you are in grade 11. Because to do an AP calculus course, you need to know 10th grade math. Or to do AP physics, which is almost touching IIT JEE level, you need to be knowing 10th grade physics for that. So again, which APs to do, which year, how many to do, whether relevant or not, it's a one-on-one discussion that we have with our students. Then only we propose what is right for you. Now, one thing here for AP, there is an advantage that IB A level students carry compared to CBSE, ICSE students when it comes to APs. By default, all IB A level kids are doing 3 APs in their school curriculum. How does that work? The IB subjects that you choose in grade 11 and 12, you have to pick 6 subjects, 3 at your high level, 3 at standard level. The 3 IBHL subjects are treated equivalent to an AP course by the universities. For example, in IB curriculum, in your HL, if you pick say math, physics, chemistry as your IBHL subjects in grade 11, and if you end up scoring a 6 or a 7 out of 7 in your IB finals, you need not repeat AP calculus, AP physics, AP chemistry in college first year. They say IBHL subject curriculum is very, very close to the AP curriculum. Hence, they give you that exemption. You need not take this subject when you go to college first year. But the same advantage, CB and A levels also do get this advantage, except A level math students, because A level further math is treated equivalent to AP calculus and not A level math. But this same advantage we do not get as CBSE, ICSE students. Our math, physics, chemistry, or economics is not treated equivalent to an AP course. Do they value IB more over CBSE? Nothing like that. It's just that IB and Cambridge curriculum are globally recognized curriculums which are taught in 80 plus countries across the world. But CBSE is probably only taught in 2 or 3 countries, right? Other than India, 1 or 2 more in the UAE or something. So they cannot look at every single board of every single country to say whether it matches with their AP curriculum or not. Hence, they do not give you that advantage in CBSE, ICSE. So to cut it short, students from CBSE, ICSE applying to top universities of the world without APs will be a very, very difficult task. You are expected to take up these AP courses. Kids from IB A levels, you can do APs in subjects which you are not going to take as part of your HL subjects in school. So if you know you are taking math, physics, chemistry in IB, HL, and say you want to do computer science major, you can always do AP computers, AP statistics, or AP psychology outside. Should you do IB kids? Only if you're like one of the toppers of the school, doing excellent in school in IB, and you want to take that extra load, take up APs. Especially in 9th, 10th, if you can do along with IG, that's more beneficial because the level of difficulty of the curriculum of IGCSE is quite simpler compared to IBDP 11th grade. So but do not take the same subject what you are going to take as part of your IBHLs in 11th, 12th. But CBSE, ICSE, it's a no-brainer that you guys need to do APs to make your application competitive when you apply to colleges. So one advantage I told you by doing APs is to boost your college academics, to show academic rigor to the college. The byproduct advantage of doing APs is because you do not repeat the same subject when you go to college first year, you get an exemption. Students are able to finish a 4-year degree in 3 years' time because of the AP credits that they have secured during the high school. In fact, there are countless number of students of QFS who have finished their undergrad in 3 years instead of 4 because of the AP credits that they had secured during the high school. It's very simple. If you've already studied a first year course during your high school and you're not studying that course in first year, you are going to take the second year course in first year itself, right? That's the flexibility the US system carries. So students are able to finish their undergrad in 3 years because of the credits that they've already secured by doing these APs. So it saves entire 1 year of your tuition fees, living expenses. It's flat, 25% scholarship because you've graduated 1 year early. You're only paying for 3 years, but you do a 4-year degree in 3 years' time. US gives you the credits. UK does not give you credits. They will make you do the subject again in college. But to get into these top 5, top 6 UK colleges for CBSE, ICSE, you have to have APs. For IB kids, if applying to UK, need not take APs. Do well on your school level and do their standardized testing. That's sufficient. For CBSE, ICSE, we need minimum 3 APs for UK colleges or Singapore. And Cambridge requires 5 APs. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about APs. You can also do some research, guys, on the advanced placement exams so that you get an idea what APs are. And you're eligible to take APs from grade 9 onwards. Okay. Okay. Let's move on then. Next is the TMUA exam. Now, what is this TMUA? So US has their own standardized test, which is the SAT. Singapore also has SAT. UK does not take SAT scores. So UK asks for another test, which is called the Test of Mathematics for University Admissions. Now, if you want to apply to these 7 universities listed on your screen, and you want to apply for a math related major in these colleges, which could be either pure math, economics, computer science, data science, anything to do with math, you need to take TMUA exam, qualify for that exam, then only your application will be considered. This is a new development from the UK universities. It's applicable even for this year students as well. Now, unlike SAT, whose scores are valid for 5 years, the TMUA score is only valid for that particular year in which you are going to apply to college. So you can only take it while you are in grade 12 and you only get one chance to do TMUA. So the exam happens in the month of October and January. 2 sittings, but you can only choose one of the 2 sittings. Cambridge insists that we need students to sit in the October itself. Other 6 universities are okay even if you sit in the January sitting as well. Okay, so those who are currently in grade 12 already entered, either you have to sit for the October 2025 or Jan 2026 for UK admissions for these universities for math, eco, computer science or data science related courses. Test of mathematics, guys, what's the level of difficulty of math? It's 1 level below IIT JEE mains, 1 level above IB math AHL, you can say, and for CBSE, it's 2 level above your school curriculum. So for CBSE, it's 2 level above. IB Math AHL 1 level above, but for IIT, it's 1 level below IIT JEE level. So that's the math. You can read about TMUA exam, go through the past papers so that you exactly know what kind of math is tested on the exam. And at QFS, we do prepare you for TMUA. I think we are one of the very, very few institutes in the country who have started preparing for TMUA to the students. One more exam, guys. There are many, many exams for UK universities for different courses. So TARA, Test of Academic Reasoning for Admissions to UK, have been introduced by UCL, University College London, for these courses. So UCL, if you want to apply for economics in UCL, you have to take the TMUA exam. But if you want to apply for, say, computer science in UCL, I'm sorry, for computers, yeah, for economics, it's the TMUA. And for these courses which are on your screen in UCL, you have to take TARA exam. Okay. So same way, Cambridge has something called as ESAT for engineering courses. So there are those simple different exams and all. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of them. You want to go in detail, just go to the website of the college and check which is the exam that is relevant for you for that particular course that you want to apply for. So UK, just to summarize, has its own entrance exam now. Gone are the times when they only considered your school reports and your IELTS score to grant you admissions. They have also introduced the standardized testing. Okay. Now, the last segment of our webinar, which is the college application process. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, 60% weightage is given to academics, 20% weightage was given to your standardized test. We talked about SAT, AP, TMUA. The balance 20% is your profile, your extracurriculars, co-curriculars, your college essays that you write, the letter of recommendation from the school that you get, all of this collectively carries 20% weightage in your college application. Now, the question is, what is this profile all about? And how exactly do you build on this profile? So, profile has two components. One are your extracurricular activities, and one are your co-curricular activities. Extracurricular activities are everything not related to the academics. It could be sports, it could be music, drama, art, theater, community services, uh, joining clubs at school. So, volunteering, all of this are part of your extracurricular activities. Co-curricular activities are everything related to the academics that you do, which could be participating in academic competitions like math olympiads or other subject olympiads, science fairs, essay contests, reputed pre-college programs. The word reputed is very important here. Most of the times I see students going to summer programs which has very, very low credibility in the college application. Think about this. I'll take a name itself. A Cambridge summer program. You know, Cambridge and Oxford University offers summer program. Now, as parents, you may think, wow, my child is going to do a summer program in Cambridge. But do you know these programs are not conducted by Cambridge? Cambridge rents out its space during the summer for outside institute to conduct a program in their campus. And they sell it as Oxbridge summer program or Oxford summer program or Cambridge summer program. And you think you have done a good summer program, you apply with that in the college, you will not have any weightage in your college application. So in this webinar being open, I cannot take names here, but there are certain programs which has very, very low credibility in your application. But there are others which are very, very reputed. Something like a Yale Young Global Scholars or a Stanford Summer Session or a Wharton Global Youth Program. These have a lot of credibility. The acceptance rates for these summer programs are also 10 to 15%, which means out of 100 kids who apply, they only choose 10 to 15 students for their summer program application. For us, our first priority is always to see that you end up in a very good summer program, which have a lot of credibility. Otherwise, I may not even make you do the summer program. There's no point doing something which has very low credibility, waste of time. Will neither learning will happen nor you are going to have any impact on your college application. Now, other ways to demonstrate your co-curriculars, research programs, research projects. So engaging yourself in research activities during high school gives the college the cushion that, you know, once you come to college, you will be engaged in some sort of research projects under the professors and all that. So research carries a lot of weightage during, building your profile. So these are the ways to demonstrate your co-curriculars. I can also add a passion project to that. So participating in competitions, doing reputed pre-college programs, doing research projects, doing your own personal passion project, all of these are the ways to demonstrate your co-curricular activities. Now the question is, why is it that the colleges want to see this? It does not happen in India, right? In India, it's the textbook which decides or whoever gets 95 plus gets a better college, whoever gets a 98 plus gets even a better college, or whoever cracks IIT with a better rank gets a IIT. So it's all about, studying, studying, studying. And we have no value for all of this in our academic system. It's how it is. But universities outside India, they just do not want someone who's just into academics. They say we want academics, we value academics, but along with that, we would love to see what else do you bring to the table. I mean, they give a lot of importance to students doing these extracurriculars and co-curriculars because it demonstrates an effective use of time that the child is doing. If you're not studying, you are engaged in sports or music, or over the summer you have gone over the summer to do a summer program learning more about the subject. You're doing research projects with the professor. That shows the university that the child is passionate about those things, and he or she has gone in depth into those areas. uh, so that is what colleges love to see, right? That you are using your time very wisely, engaging in these things, builds your personality, builds your skill set. And this is what probably is also required for the jobs of the 21st century. It's not your math physics knowledge that actually makes you successful. It's all about how you speak, how you treat people, uh, your empathy, and your skill set in that subject, basically, not just the marks. So you hear a lot, right? Student from a tier 3 college gets into a Google with a pay scale of 1 CR plus and all. How does it happen? Because of the skill set that the child has learned over so many years. He must be a great coder, great programmer for Google to take him. So doing these academic competitions, you will actually challenge yourself one level above when it comes to that academic subject. Doing these pre-college reputed summer program, you will get to learn more about the subject in depth. Doing research project will again make you go deep dive into that subject, which you want to pursue in college. So all of these are traits that colleges give a lot of weightage to, around 20%, and there is a smart way to build on this profile. Some mistakes that students do is they say, okay, sir has listed all of this. Let's do one each of them. I'll somehow become a student council member. I'll come and join one club in school. I'll start playing a sport at school level. I'll do one community project. I'll go to an NGO 7 days. I will maybe distribute something or teach something. They try to do this. This is not the way to build your profile, guys. Colleges would love to see your passion involved in the subject, in that area. Instead of ticking one boxes of each, pick 3 or 4 of these items and go in depth into that. That will be valued very highly by the universities. Instead of saying I went and did 1 week volunteering, if you are working with that NGO over a period of 1-2 years, it will genuinely show your commitment to doing a voluntary or a community service, right? If you are doing these academic competitions, it means you must have prepared for some time to participate in that. Colleges would love to see some sort of community, some sort of passion that is involved in all of this. So thoda strategically is what we need to build this profile. One, you need to balance all of this with your academics, remember. So this is not the only thing you're doing. You still need to maintain great grades. Along with that, you need to impress the college. And actually, if you look at it, you're not doing profile building to get a college. To be honest, that's very secondary. Building your profile is good for yourself to improve yourself personality wise, and improving skill sets within you, which will help you to do very well in the future. So look at profile building not from the perspective of the college, but to improve your own skill set. Getting into that college probably is a byproduct advantage. Okay. So there is a strategy to, strategically, if you build this, plan it out month by month, quarter by quarter. What am I going to do this month or this quarter? And do it over a period of 1, 2, 3 years, depending on when you are starting. I'm telling you, at the end, you will have a resume which will probably put into shame some of the, people who are working in the industries. So I have some of these resumes that I can share, that the kids who have started working during your high school, they have engaged into so many of these things. Uh, how did they do? One is the discipline. So it's not 1 month or 2 month key. This month I will do everything on profile and then I'll sleep. This is not how it is. So every month they are looking into something, for the next 2-3 years. And when you do that over a period of time, you will see, wow, your resume looks like one of which will get you into one of the top universities. So this is how we need to build on this. How Quest helps you in that. Uh, I work one-on-one with our students along with my team and I help you to plan on all of this. What we do is we divide into quarter or sometimes monthly targets. This is what we propose you to do this quarter. So say a student wants to apply for a computer science major. The first thing that the colleges would love to see is more than computer science, they would love to see math. Computer science is actually more math than CS, than programming. We need to convince the college that you're very good at math and you are a right fit for a computer science major. In fact, over the next 2 or 3 months, there are at least 7 to 8 international level math Olympiad competitions coming up. To name a few, something like a Hong Kong Math Olympiad, Singapore Math Olympiad, there's a Philippines Math Olympiad. So we tell you what needs to be done, who will help you prepare for that. So most of the times for these Olympiads, just with your 10th grade knowledge or 9th grade knowledge, whichever year you are competing in, you are able to secure a bronze or a silver in that. Someone who pushes a little more preparing for these Olympiads actually ends up winning a gold in these Olympiads. So this is one example. So every quarter we make a plan for you. This quarter, what are we trying to achieve? Which summer program are we going to apply for if you have summer holidays coming up? Which competitions are you going to participate in? What would be your community service project? Are we going to start community service now? If yes, under which NGO? If yes, what would be the project that you're going to start working on? Are we going to start research project now? Which Coursera courses would you do? So there is a lot of planning that goes on every month, every quarter. We make a plan with our student, and then we have monthly meetings to follow up on our plan to see how the execution is happening. So this is how we do. We only suggest you. We don't expect you to come up. If I say, let's do a research project, you'll be like, sir, where? Who will help me? So we know institutes which have tie up with professors from the US or top universities of India who help high school students with their research projects. And it's not the ones which many other counselors recommend. That's where also we differentiate ourselves. A lot of counselors outside, if you today Google ना research program for high school students, 2-3 नाम आएंगे आपको, वो 2-3 जगह नहीं जाना. So what happens there in most of this is you pay, they start with it, 80% they will only do. They're like, khatam karo isko and let's publish a paper on his name. That's not going to be your learning. And to be very honest, you will not be able to project that very well in your college essays. So what we want you to do is you only put in the effort. It should be 100% genuinely done by you. It will take effort, but that's only what is going to stand out in your college application. And the programs that we suggest are a lot more cheaper than the ones you see on that Google and all, because they do the work there. That's why they charge you. To make you do the work, these programs need not be so expensive because it's all about guiding you on this research programs and all that. So every month, every quarter, we make a plan with our students, and we build it over a period of time. You can start as early as grade 9. You can start as late as grade 12. It all depends on when you are starting. Earlier you start, more the time I get with you to build on your profile. There's no right time, guys. When is the right time? Right time is today. If you know you are going to apply to some of the top universities, you need to start working today, whether you're in grade 9 or grade 10. Are you late if you're in grade 11? Nothing like that. I have so many high achievers who even started in 11th. There were a few who started in the beginning of 12th also, but they probably worked very hard over the last 8-9 months to, build something great in their profile. So it's never too late. It's never too early. Earlier you start, more the time you get, it becomes a little more smoother for you because you get more time and you can, spread it across. As late as if you start late, it's just that you will be time crunched and you can only do few activities and not most of it. Okay. So nevertheless, start whenever you are ready. If your commitment is that you are going to apply to some of the top universities, you need to get started. Okay. Now, these things that we do, right, and our profile actually gets reflected through the college essays. So it's just not the certificates that you upload and say, I have done this, this, then all. Universities, in fact, will not give any value to your certificates as well. How do you actually demonstrate these profile activities that you have done? This is demonstrated through multiple essays that universities asks you to write. In fact, when we apply to Normally, kids apply to 15 universities at the time of college application. Those 15 universities could be from different countries. It could be 10 US, 5 UK, say 5 UK, we count it as one because it goes in a single application in UK. Then it could be to Singapore, to Europe, and all that. Every university has their own specific essays that you need to write. So at the end, you will be around writing 25 to 30 essays, right? And most of these profile building things that you have done will be projected through your essays. Of course, there's an activity section which tells you to list all of it which you have done as part of your extracurriculars and co-curriculars in the application itself. But through essays, you try to portray to the university why exactly you did that particular activity, what did you learn from that particular activity, so those things are generally reflected through the essays. Now, if you look at some of the prompts this year that were released by Common App, so Common App is one essay that goes common to every single university of the US that you apply to. It's called the Common App essay. That essay will go to every university of the US that you apply to. There were 6 prompts. These were the 6 prompts. Some students have a background, identity, interest, a talent that is so meaningful, they believe their application would be incomplete without it. Share your story. 650 words. Now, 650 words, guys, this takes 3 months to come up with the right essay. 2 to 3 months sometimes. Because every word should portray, something. You have very less word limit and you want to portray a lot in this. So that's where our head of essay, Miss Reena, so she's the essay master, I say, in our team, who works one-on-one with the student in helping them draft the best essay possible. Multiple iterations happen, 8, 10, 12. You come up with 650 words, you'll remove 600 words and say only these 50 make sense. So a lot of iterations keep happening unless and until both of you are happy with your final draft. So this is what I was telling. In your grade 12, for the 3-4 months it takes to come up with the best essays possible. Now look at these topics. If you see, describe an idea or concept you find so engaging that it makes you lose all track of time. Why does it captivate you? So this is a lot of the profile building stuff that you have done will be portrayed through these essays as well. So it's about university trying to know you. They see your academic grades, they see your transcripts, they see your activity section, they know, okay, these are the things you have done, but then they also want to understand who you are. Now, we do not have an interview round in these US colleges. So the only way they want to judge you, they want to know about you is through the way you write your essays. And they want to know more about you other than the academic achievements that you have portrayed already to them. Who are you as a person? So some of the essays that our kids wrote, who got into some of the top colleges. So this is a small synopsis from the essay. After the sudden loss of my grandfather, a late night birthday phone call changed everything. I left behind my life in the US and moved to India, stepping into a new culture, a new school system, and a label I hadn't expected. ABCD, American born confused Desi. So he was bullied in the school. Struggling with unfamiliar norms, a rigid academic system, and the loss of my familiar debate environment. So he was into debates and all in US, but in India when he came, it's all about academics, who's getting what grades here. I could have faded into the background. Instead, I built new spaces. I started a debate club at school. I initiated school-wide clubs and eventually being elected the head boy of the school. From being the outsider, I became the one creating belonging for others. I did not just adapt, I transformed confusion into leadership and difference into impact. So if you see, this shows that, he was bullied. He could have just gone back and said, change my school or I won't go to school. And there's one way to come out of it as well. And ultimately then became a head boy of the school. So even after facing a big loss and moving to a completely new country, he did not give up. Instead of feeling lost, he created new spaces and eventually became the head boy. So it shows that he could adapt to tough situations. He takes actions. One more essay, if you see. So this is what, guys, it takes a lot of brainstorming to come up with these ideas. Um, Among the moss-covered ruins of an old temple, I asked my father why he looked so heartbroken. This place fed the hungry and brought people together, he said. Wealth means nothing if it does not serve the society. That moment shaped my mission. At Rotary Club, I raised funds for the visually impaired students learning to push past rejections, speak from the heart, and led by connection, not perfection. Watching a child hold her first braille reader like it was treasure, I realized true impact isn't measured in money but in changed lives. My father taught me empathy. I have learned to turn it into action. So he has mentioned it in his activity profile that he's a president of the Rotary Club and he has raised funds, 2 lakh rupees or something. So this is the winning essay for U Chicago. So this boy got into University of Chicago for economics, which is ranked fourth in the world today. Of course, only did this essay only got him the admissions? No, he was brilliant in academics. He has 1510 on his SAT, had EPs 515s. But essays also play an important role. A lot of them have academics, but then this Rotary Club being a president, raising these funds, and he could tell the university what exactly kicked him to do this charity and all that because of the uh, teachings that he learned from his father, that wealth means nothing if it does not serve the society. So these were some of the essay prompts. I can go on and on. We have limited time, but the idea behind telling you this is you need to think a lot, guys, before putting your essay. A lot of brainstorming has to happen. Takes a good 3-4 months to come up with the right essay, because word limit is given and you want to portray what you want to portray to the universities. And in fact, every essay that you write, so one is the common app essay that every university will ask, but take an example of Stanford. It has 8 more supplement essays to support the common app essay on various topics. All those 8 essays, you have to write something different in each one of them to portray a different side of yours. Putting anything repetitive will be very boring to the reader. So yeah, so these are the ways to write your essays. So some other essay prompts from other universities. Describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, helped resolve disputes, or contributed to group efforts over time. Last, if you see, what have you done to make your school or community a better place? So these are some of the examples, essays that you have to write during your college applications. So your all of these profile, extracurriculars, co-curriculars, essays, letter of recommendations carry substantial weightage in your application. How do we help? Okay, so it's a 3-stage process, as I say in college admission counseling. First step, build your profile. So as I mentioned, we work one-on-one with you, make a plan for you every month, every quarter to see, what needs to be done to improve your profile, improve your skill sets. So which competitions, which summer program, where to do research, where to do your internships, do we start a passion project? If yes, under whom? What will be your extracurriculars? All of these, we'll be guiding you one-on-one on that. Second step would be to help you shortlist the right colleges. There are normally our kids apply to 15 colleges. So coming up with that right list is very important. Guys, 80% of the people outside here are not doing it the right way. Most of them are agents. You won't even know. So they actually will not charge you fees or charge you very less fees. And they're like, oh, they charge so less fees. Why are they charging so much? Do you know they get university commissions? They get commissions to place you in certain universities. They make money out of that. So at QFS, we have no partnerships with any institutes. Everything we work is on merit basis. In fact, the first thing that we promote is try to get admissions into some of the world's top universities. And the world's top universities will not tie up with anyone. 80-90% of them outside who have more bigger brand names are the ones who are agents, university representatives, who force you to get into some of these colleges where they can make a lot of money out of it. Okay, so we don't do all this nonsense. Whatever it is straight will make you work very hard. So build your profile, help you with the right set of colleges to shortlist, and then help you with your essays and application and all that. So every single essay that you will be writing will be edited by Reena. She will work one-on-one with you for the essays. In fact, to apply for these summer programs, I told you reputed summer program where 10% admissions happen. How does how do you get into those reputed summer program? In fact, you need to build full profile to actually get into that reputed summer program. The summer program, once you do, gets added onto that profile, which goes on in your final college application. So in fact, next summer, if you plan to go to say US for a summer program or any other country, you need to work 1 year on your profile so that you get into one of the competitive summer program next summer. Okay. So it's a chain. So helping you even with your summer program applications, essays, your actual applications, essays, and all that, where to take your LORs from, how to make your resume in a particular format, because a lot of universities allow you to put your resume. So all of these, guidance are given. So it's a three-step process: build your profile, college shortlist, and then helping you with your essays and application. So we don't do visa services. As I mentioned, they're done by agents. Also, visas also. So we're not agents. 80% of our students get into the top 20 global universities. Okay. So that's about our college counseling program. And I head QFS and I manage the college counseling myself. And the academic side of us, which is the SATs, APs, the tutoring, is headed by my brother Jayant, so who works on the academic side of it. Okay. In fact, we are one of the very few institute, if not the only one in the country, who has in-house prep for IB, SATs, APs, and college counseling. How are we able to get these results? 80% of our students get into top 20 because we are able to do very well for them even in their academics. So a lot of counselors outside, they have no control on your academics. You do not get good grades in a subject, they can't help you. And if you do not meet the academic criteria of the college, no profile will help you in getting admissions there. Okay. If they say we want 90%, they want 90. Whether you publish 5 papers or 10 papers does not matter to them. Their minimum academic criteria, minimum SAT scores, if you do not meet, your profile is not going to add value in your application. Because we have in-house support for IB, IG, and SATs, APs, we are able to help these kids in these areas as well. You do not get something good in your school academics in a school exam, so you got a C grade in chemistry. We can put you into tutoring right immediately with our teachers to see that you improve on those grades before your finals. And SAT APs, if you are our student, we will do 500% to see that you score well on SAT and APs, because we also know without SAT AP, how will we even help you get admissions into those top universities? So the effort that our teachers will give you because of this is very high. For a SAT institute, it's just about helping you prepare for SAT. For an institute where you go for IG tutoring, he or she is only bothered about your subject. For us, the bigger goal is to make sure you get into some of the top college. And for that, we know these things are very important, without which our effort in building your profile will be nullified. So, we give in that extra support to you for your academics, SAT, AP, so that you do well there, which will also help us and our profile building to get you admissions into some of the world's top university. So this kind of arrangement at present, I don't think anyone has it in our country. So this is something which is very unique to us. Okay. Quick facts about some of the universities, guys. Think I'll take another 5-10 minutes to wrap this up. So we'll talk a lot about US and all that, but a lot of parents would want to know about other countries. So talking about Singapore, NUS, NTU, SMU, top universities. NUS is ranked number one in Asia for every program. In fact, whether you want to do engineering, economics, finance, psychology, journalism, whatever, NUS is the number one college. NTU is for engineering, SMU is for commerce-based subjects like economics, business, and finance, and all that. So 3 good universities in Singapore, close proximity to India. They have something called as a 50% scholarship for students who study in Singapore, provided you sign a bond with them that you will work 3 years in the country after you graduate. So if you sign that bond, they give you 50% waiver on the tuition fees. You work with them for 3 years, pay the taxes to the government, and then you're free. So actually it gives you a 3-year sure job out of after graduation, which is not a bad deal. So a lot of kids opt for this. Living cost is around $10,000 to $15,000 per year. How to get into Singapore? Do very well on academics, do your SATs, do APs, and do your co-curriculars. So Singapore is one country which probably does not give a lot of emphasis on sports, music, community, and all that, but it gives a lot of weightage on academic competitions, research programs, summer programs, everything related to academics. They give a lot of value to that. And Singapore also has essays from now. So they'll ask you, why do you want to study computer science? Now you need to explain them why exactly, how much in depth you have studied that subject. Why are you very passionate about it? So only if you have done co-curriculars related to that subject, you will be able to portray that well in their essays. Okay. Dutch, you have two universities, Amsterdam and Delft University of Technology. Reason I've mentioned here is Netherlands is an English-speaking country, so language is not a barrier. Delft is very renowned for its engineering programs. University of Amsterdam is good for eco, business, humanities-based programs. Delft has its own entrance test, does not rely on SAT or something. So do well on academics, clear the Delft entrance test, you get to directly enter Europe. Amsterdam also has its own entrance test. If you talk about the total cost of studying here, I think around 20,000 euros, including your living, staying, everything per year. So total cost will come around 1 CR, 1.25 CR for a 4-year degree. Okay. Ireland, some of the good universities there as well. Again, it's an English speaking country. In the past, quite a few students from our institute have gone for medical in Ireland because it offers a direct med program. Royal College of Surgeons, Trinity College Dublin. So they offer direct medical in Ireland. So few students have gotten there. Again, same cost as Dutch. Other few notable universities in Europe, Bocconi University in Italy. Program is taught in English. Very reputed university, Bocconi. It accepts either SAT or you have to give Bocconi entrance test. Aalto University, Finland. You know, Finland is the hub of education. Aalto is very reputed. It's a top 100 college in the world, in fact. They accept SAT. They actually want only SATs for admissions. Good for CS, quantum tech, engineering, international business design programs and all that. École Polytechnique in France, if you see their acceptance rates is only 3 to 4%. So very, very reputed university in France for math, physics, CS or economics. Either take the entrance or take the SATs, one of the two. So good university. So these are some of the options in Europe that you can consider. Japan has only opened it up last year. We are meeting these universities rep very soon. So I can only tell you more details about this. Until now, we have not had any placements to Japan. No one ever looked at it. But only from this year, they are very going aggressive that they are open to accepting international students. So once we have some more details, I'll be able to share more here. Now, at the end, I want to share with you some of the profiles of our student this year who have got admissions into the top college. So first is Sanjay. I showed you his essay that, you know, that wealth means nothing if it doesn't serve the society. So he got U Chicago. If you look at his profile, 10th, all 9 A stars. So as I told you, academics was very good. SAT was 1510. He had an AP score in calculus and stats 5 and 5. I did not mention here. Now look at his extracurriculars, co-curriculars. Look at the stuff that he had done at school level. So he was into the UN club of the school, hosted the largest MUN, 300 students were there. So he was the host of his school hosted the MUN with 300 students. So he was a member of the panel who hosted. Then founder of MUN Consulting and Outreach Program. So inviting other students to come for those MUNs and all that. So he was very actively involved in the MUN club at school. Treasurer at the Rotary Club, raised 2 lakh plus in charity funds. So I had already shown in on his essays as well. Head of Finance, Aditi Career Society. So there's something called as Aditi Career Society. His school is Malya Aditi. So he was head of finance there, hosted career guidance events, managed financial operations for events and all that. And TEDx as well at school. So this was his school activities. Outside school, what he did? 2 research programs. One with IISc Bangalore professor, published a report on airline collision prevention strategies. And then he did a program at the NUS where he conducted primary research on pesticide poisoning, developed improved protective gear prototypes for Indian farmers. So we were the one recommending him for this NUS program, got him there. ISC professor, luckily we got through his father's contact. He worked on his personal project, carbon credit project, analyzed carbon sequestration, reviewed issuance clause in India's carbon credit market. So this was his personal project and one week of internship that he did. And couple of other community service, if you can see, taught art, pottery, filmmaking to underserved students and all that. So this is the profile which, and some of the academic achievements. So some competitions, Olympiads, some of the Coursera courses. So this profile got him U Chicago. He applied there as an ED, early decision, which means When he got Chicago, he did not apply to any other college. He was done. He got through U Chicago. One more profile, Bishop Cotton Boy Amog Aditya got into Cornell, double major in math and economics. So he's from ISC curriculum. Sanjay was from A levels, IGCSE A levels. 1500 on the SAT, did 8 APs. At the time of college application, he had 4 APs. He did another 4 in 12th grade end after he got admissions just to save on money so that he can get college credits. So at the time of application, you can say he had 4 APs, all 5 on 5, 1500 on his SATs, good academics. Leadership role as president of MUN and debate club at school. So those are his school-based activities. So we'll talk about what he did outside school. Math and English mentor in a nearby NGO. Look at the summer programs that he did. All of them were competitive in nature. So as I mentioned, it's double major in math and eco. So all the 3 programs were related to math and eco that we did, and all 3 were competitive in nature to get into. Couple of research papers and a lot of these math Olympiads and all. Now, it may look very heavy. You may think, oh my God. But you know what? Preparing for one of these Olympiads, you can prepare for all of them because the syllabus is the same. Now, why does a student do 5 of these Olympiads? To tell the college, look, I'm very passionate about math. It's not any exam that happens related to math. I go and participate, and I just love math. So this is one way to demonstrate your passion. So if you see, math Olympiads were there, 2-3 summer programs, couple of research projects, good community service project, SAT score of 1500, 4 APs, got into Ivy League college. Now, is he some super smart boy? Guys, he was very hardworking. So used his time very well and love for math. So actually he was not stressed or anything. Like, oh, when did he enjoy? He enjoyed doing math only. Now, one student from Surat, Chidi Goenka International, a CBSE. So I have one A level, then I chose one ISC. Now we have one CBSE boy. Now, where Amok was all about academics and like Olympiads and all, what got Shaurya was, of course, 4 APs were there. He had a SAT of 1530. See, you need to have good academics and good SAT and AP. Otherwise, top 20 is not possible. Profile is then to differentiate between 2 strong academic students. So because these APs prep and all, everything they do at QFS, the SAT prep, AP prep, so we are able to control or give the best to them in these areas as well. Now, what got him was his love for MUNs. He used to do a lot of MUNs. In fact, I felt he did every MUN happening, because of which he became so good at it that he holds a Guinness World Record holder for longest speech rally. He's in India Book of Records, where he organized the first sports MUN in India. So those were the impactful things which got him Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is an Ivy Plus university and only boy from India who got into economics program at Vanderbilt. One more, Arjun from Udaipur, who got into Brown. Reading his profile, it makes it very clear that the boy is interested in astrophysics. So summer science program, this was a summer program that he did. If you Google summer science program, it's one of the most competitive program to get into for the summer. So got through that, did one program at U Chicago, SAT was 1570, founder of physics club at school, guitar, grade 7, chess, bronze medalist in Olympiad, finalist of International Astronomy and Astrophysics competition. So we guide them, we tell them, oh, do this competition. This is relevant for you. This competition is opening up for you or coming up and all that. So this is the guidance that we do, which summer program to apply for, then helping you with that application for that summer program, where to do your research project. So this is all about, your profile building and all that. And then later on helping you with your college shortlist and essays. So guys, at QFS, we are able to balance academics, standardized test, and everything else. Tailored strategies, including quarterly profile building. Although our sessions are monthly, every month we meet. In fact, sometimes every 2 weeks, every week, whatever is the necessity. During essays, so it's every day with Reena. So help you with your profile building, college selection, essays, and 80% of our students enter the top 20 global universities. So why us for everything? We are one of the leaders for IB IGCSE tutoring with 50 plus teachers, most of whom are IB examiners, best SAT AP results, 80% of our students whom we are doing college counseling and with top 20. We have different packages for 1, 2, 3, or 4 years. Starting grade 9, we work with you for 4 years, 10th, 3 years, 11th graders, 2 years, and 12th grade who have already entered, we only get 1 year or 9 months to spare with you. So we have different pricing for each one of them. One-on-one mentoring. So I'll be working directly with you one-on-one on your profile building. So this is our contact number at the end that we have given. Those of you who want to make a note of it. Also, the numbers are mentioned on the website, questforsuccess.in. So this is the number which you can call, WhatsApp to know more about and to enroll with us. So this is all about the session, guys. I hope this was useful.